Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rapper, Flow Dapper.
Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia have started a new trend. Terence Crawford Alexis Rocha ordered by the WBO. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, so Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, the super fight that's scheduled for April 22nd, has, to me, started a trend in the sport of boxing. I believe that's going to carry on for years to come. I definitely feel like by these two young fighters coming together, working it out, not letting the money dictate what the fans want, that boxing fans in the near future are going to start seeing more fighters go about this new wave of making fights. The Terence Crawford Errol Spence situation, I think, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Boxing fans, promoters, even other fighters. I think even a lot of the other superstar fighters, I think, started to realize that the money is the problem. The money is the problem. And to be able to make superstar fights and good fights that fans want to see, you can't always be concerned about the money or the A side, B side. You just got to get in the ring and make it happen. And if you put on a good performance, then the fans will reward you, not only in that fight, but in fights to come. What you do now will dictate your future. If you put on good performances now and you give fans what they want right now, then in the future they'll be more willing to invest within your product. But if you're not willing to give us what we want right now, don't expect people to keep digging in their pockets to support you for a mediocre product. And I think Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia have set a new precedent in the sport of boxing. And I'm hoping that fighters like Crawford, fighters like Spence, and it's really, to me, it's really just the 147 division. I think some people might argue that the 154 division, because of what's going on with Charlo. I don't think that the other divisions are having this problem. We got a Fury Wilder, what was it, 2 or 3 fights? I can't really remember. But we got a bunch of fights out of those two guys. We got a bunch of fights out of Gervonta Davis. I think he fought twice last year. We got the good Devin Haney, George Kambosos fight. Even though George Kambosos was a little overmatched by Devin Haney, he was the undisputed champion at one time. So you can't deny the fact that there were two of the best guys going up against each other. So I think with the new generation, some of these younger fighters being willing to just put on good fights, win or lose, that the state of boxing is going to change. And I think even the sanctioning bodies are going to change the way that they do business, because now we have in the Terence Crawford Alexis Rocha, and I think I'm saying his name right, Rocha. I apologize if I didn't say it right, but it is what it is. So we got the WBO ordering that fight, and although it's not exactly what fans want, it's a good fight. It's a big fight. I think Alex has a lot of fans. I've never really watched him fight. Not gonna sit here and lie to y'all or pretend like I watch every fighter. I hate that about some YouTubers. They're like, man, I watched every fight. I'm like, nah, how the hell do you watch every fight? It's like 3 fights on in one time. You couldn't have put your all, into all 3 of those fights that was on at the same time. You might have peeked around it, but that's here nor there. But I'm not gonna pretend like I know exactly what he brings to the table, but I do know he has a big enough name. There are a lot of people out there who follow him and that believe he can challenge Terence Crawford. It's a decent enough fight to where I would have rathered him fight him than David Avanesyan, because I feel like that would have been a better fight. But in all honesty, Terence Crawford should be fighting Boots or Vergil Ortiz. He shouldn't be fighting anybody other than those 2 guys, because those are the top 2 names. But I think it's a step in the right direction for Terence Crawford, who has been, accused, had the finger pointed at him about his competition level for the past few years. So, step in the right direction for him. Now, how long will this trend last? How long will it take before fighters start to go back to the old way? The Mayweather way of doing things has been pretty much the model in boxing for superstars and champions for like 5-10 years now. So, will this trend, will it stay a trend? Will it, go up for a couple of fights and then die like most trends, or will other fighters start to follow this and make it the new wave in boxing and not just the trend? This is the new way of doing things, putting on good fights, BFB, best fight the best, all of that good stuff. This is what we as fans want. This is what we as fans will support. If we can get that, I don't see why boxing can't overtake MMA in 2023, 2024, why it can't become the biggest sport once again. If people are watching and investing and the fighters are putting on good fights, the promoters are promoting the right fights, then there's nothing stopping boxing from going back to number one. It's the product that's keeping it from being number one. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's the product that's keeping it from being number one. And if you serve up a better product, you'll get better results. What does this lead? Does Terence Crawford and Errol Spence actually get it on in 2023, or is that fight pretty much gone in the wind? I think the whole Alex Rocha situation is based off of whether Terence Crawford and Errol Spence decide to actually get it on. I have no idea what's going on with the Keith Thurman fight. Errol Spence, because I haven't really heard anything about it. I've really been looking for it. Don't really care, to be honest with you. But I think once that situation is over with and done, hopefully we'll get the Spence-Crawford fight. If not, you'll more than likely see Crawford fight Rocha sometime in the end of the spring, early summer. And Errol Spence will more than likely move on to 154 pounds permanently, drop all those titles, and it's just going to be a free-for-all in 2024. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. Has the trend that Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia started, will it stick around? Will more fighters follow this trend? Who do y'all think will win between Crawford and Rocha? And do y'all think that that's a good substitute for the undisputed fight if it doesn't actually happen? Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely get a response on the tube. So holler at me over there. If you want to collabo, hit my Gmail, flockofcards@gmail.com. And we are
let's go. Whoever fucking with Mike is risking his life. I'm the one convincing your wife to sit on the pipe. Look, I'm 1,000 degrees, stay out for my cheese. Any chick with me, I recommend pass to the knees and allow it to G. Sauce one, making the green. Boy running Louisville slugger, breaking his spleen is a penalty. Niggas gonna remember me. Enemies, I put them under Kentucky like Tennessee. Coming to drop, so it ain't hard to get dames. Niggas skating on blades like it was the X Games. Except it ain't no rounds, just player haters and tramps. Mad because my 100 spokes shine like lamps. We tight like cramps, and y'all boys can't stretch it. My bullets are contagious, y'all fuck with me and you catch it. Anybody want static, we gon' straighten that out. When they catch a size 12, boom, straighten them out. Now let's beef with them, they pack heat with them. Y'all mad because y'all chicken heads freak with them. Looking spotless, we get them hoes topless. Y'all not this, there ain't no way y'all gon' stop this. So let's go, nigga. Let's go, let's go, let's go, nigga. Let's go, let's go, let's go, nigga. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Call me Hershey, all I get hugs and kisses. Put condoms on my legs and just run through bitches. And I ain't stunting that man, I'm never panicking. Keep rubber on my dick like I'm sticking a mannequin. Hitting your girl whenever she ain't on the rag. Leaving fuck boys.